Hey, this is Loki Quinn Cosplay, Goddess Psycho Mischief Maker, and you're listening to my boys at Droids Canada.
Dun 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 dun. Salsa shark! We're gonna need a bigger boat!
Throughout history, they have been a part of our Canadian life. Men and women who have made their mission to entertain their fellow man. They've worked hard enough. Isn't it time they had their own podcast?
Droids Canada. This podcast would be great if it wasn't for the internet trolls.
I don't bother them and they don't bother me.
I could do without the bad reviews in the iTunes store. You have that podcast with that guy who was at that Comic-Con in the last year.
You should hear the barrage of the stupid questions I get on our SoundCloud account.
What do you mean there was coughing? How am I going to hear a podcast with coughing?
You feel a lot better if you just rip into the occasional guest.
You're a host who doesn't get paid. You can't just do anything you want while you're recording.
What kind of podcast are you running here anyways?
Droids Canada Podcast present.
You think anyone can see us down here?
Why, you think you want to have sex or something?
Can we?
Droids Canada Podcast. The only show to rip off a Clerks trailer.
You hate people!
But I love Comic-Cons. Isn't it ironic?
This podcast is a proud member of the Points of Interest Podcast Network. Visit us today at poipodcast.com.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
DroidsCanada.com presents. Oh my God! It's time to fight! Podcast. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Matthew Terry. This is It's Time to Fight, and I'm back. I've been on a bit of a hiatus, and I'm going to talk about the hiatus, and I'm going to talk about the hiatus with the guy who put me on hiatus.
What? Put you?
All right, that's
Put yourself.
Okay. I didn't. Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that.
Self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Well, because people have asked me why my podcast kind of disappeared. How long have I been gone? A month and a half now?
About 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks. All right. I am going to own up to it.
Okay.
Now, first off, I'm sitting here with Todd Puhl.
Of course.
From DroidsCanada.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna own it. The reason I was on hiatus was DroidsCanada.com, Mr. Puhl, and myself. We had a disagreement or
misunderstanding.
That
included a shoot promo.
Okay. Okay. As I said, I'm gonna own up to this whole damn thing.
Owning up.
When I started here on Droids Canada, I had made a joke. Let me emphasize joke.
Joke.
That. Try saying that without a timbit in your mouth.
Joke.
Okay. I had made a joke about. I guess it was the Niagara Falls Comic-Con.
That's one of them.
Yeah, it was. Well, which one did I make the first joke about?
Niagara Falls Comic-Con.
Was it Niagara Falls Comic-Con?
Yeah.
About how they had gone and that they had passes and everything. But I didn't get one. I was the new guy, and I had made a joke. Emphasize joke.
You were there on the Thursday.
Yes, to help set up.
You were in the building.
I was in the building. I got to experience some of the Niagara Falls Comic-Con before Niagara Falls Comic-Con was Niagara Falls Comic-Con. Okay. But anyway, I had made that joke, and Todd got a hold of me, or you got a hold of me. I'm sitting here right in front of me.
I'm looking at you right now.
I know. I'm going to talk.
I'm trying not to make eye contact with you.
And Todd, or you got a hold of me, and you said, what's your problem? In more or less. Paraphrase. More or less, what's your problem?
More or less.
And I said, I'm just busting your balls. Like, I don't care. And then I think I made the joke again, and you kind of like, no, really, what's your problem? And I said, dude, I'm just busting your balls. And then the next time was the
Todd Bravo.
And then the Adam Mann podcast, which I will own up totally and say was a total work. It was just to see what the reaction would be. Some of it actually was true to an extent, but it was something that I kind of blew up. But during that, I had made kind of the same joke. I don't even know what that one was about. But I can't remember. But it was kind of like, okay, why do you keep busting my balls?
Pretty
Was
much.
what you said to me. Why do you keep busting my balls? And I said, dude, it's just a joke.
I was like totally taking it as you're like ECW and I'm like WWE, you know what I mean, kind of scenario. And I was just like, what the fuck is the problem? Like that was, I'm trying to understand is that.
So it was a joke. It probably wasn't a good one because, but it's, I will openly admit I was just busting your balls. And you kind of put me on a hiatus. You said, like, listen, why don't you take a little bit of time off, think what you want to do. And I did. And again, it was, I sincerely apologize.
Oh.
I love being part of droidscanada.com, which is something that I have said on my podcast many times as well. When we did the CK Expo.
Absolutely.
And I was up on stage. How many times did I say droidscanada.com?
You fucking rattled it off.
Okay, I am a team guy.
Team.
And that was kind of, if there was any underlying problem, it was that I'm part of the team.
Right.
And why am I not being invited to the team meetings?
Right.
Okay? So that was my kind of, if there was anything, but I was just happy to have a platform. And that's what you give me. And that's what I am back to now.
Right.
And I'm more than happy to. So this is, number one, I'm going to try... Emphasize
Trying
not to bust your balls so much. But here's the heads up, okay? I am more proud to be part of droidscanada.com than any level of annoyance. If I have a beef with anybody, I will tell you. Yeah. I will not go on my podcast and say, I hope that motherfucker listens to this. Okay, I will contact you and say, what the fuck's your problem? If I really had a problem with not going to these cons or to these expos, or like if I had a big problem, because I did have a small problem, okay? Because I'm a member of the team. So if I have a big problem, I'll get on to you and I'll say like, okay,
figure it out.
What the fuck's the problem?
Absolutely.
Am I not part of this team or am I?
Yeah.
And I will speak about this, okay? You guys just did great work with NXT, St. Catharines. Amazing work, amazing promotional stuff, amazing posters, things of that nature. You guys did a great job. But that kind of came around at the time that I took my hiatus.
Yeah.
And I'll admit that was a little bit more of a small annoyance because I'm being told, well, we're getting together and we're recording this stuff. And we're discussing what we're going to be doing with NXT.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'm the wrestling guy. So why am I not sitting in a corner somewhere? Now, I get it, okay? I don't make posters.
Nope.
I don't make promotional stuff.
Nope.
But I'm the wrestling guy. So
you are the wrestling guy.
So it just seemed like, why am I not invited to these meetings?
Well,
Todd, why was I not invited to these meetings?
Well, I did invite you to the meeting.
No,
the one
you didn't.
night, yeah, she did. If you
no,
look back,
you did not.
If you look back in your message history, the night that we recorded everything, I sent you a message saying,
okay,
we're going to be recording something
that
tonight.
Is entirely possible. That is
I know it's entirely possible because I did, and you did not respond, so I took it as you can't see me put my hands up in the air.
I do kind of remember that.
And that's what I was like, okay. And I even said to Dan and AJ, I'm like, I offered.
Actually, I think it may have been more, and I should go back in my history. I think it was more of a, well, we might be doing some with NXT.
Yep.
But I can't say too much about it.
I couldn't say too much about it at the time. But they didn't know really at the time either.
Okay.
Here's the problem is that, and I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Is that I was approached by the PR company of the Meridian Center.
Mm-hmm.
They said, hey, and this is where I'm really going to stress that this was hush-hush. It was so hush-hush that everything that was given to me was like, here you go. 10 seconds later, it's like, you've only given me 10 seconds notice. Like, now I got to figure out how I'm going to do all this. So I had countless hours at night staying up, building these promotions. I'm like, okay, who's on the card? Who's on the card? Well, we don't know. The promoter for NXT, because the changes were coming after SummerSlam, didn't know either. He didn't know who was being on the card. He didn't know who was going to be there, period. Mm-hmm. He didn't know the type of matches. He knew nothing. So all he said was, NXT's coming. I'm like, that literally gave me zero. Like, what am I going to build? What promotions can I build?
Mm-hmm.
So the night in question that we're speaking of, that night, I was meeting with the PR person before AJ and Dan to find out what was going on. And then that's when she told me, at the time, Asuka, however you pronounce her fucking name. Who else was on the card originally? It was Bobby Roode, and it was Drew McIntyre. And then I'm like,
I think Black.
Oh, no, sorry. It was Aleister Black, Bobby Roode, and Asuka. I'm like, okay. So we started talking about it, and I said, we only have 3 names. Like, this is going to be at least a 20-card guy. Like, how many guys you typically go on a show? Like, 20?
Yeah,
20's fair.
Yeah.
Like, 20's not, like, 3's not good enough. Like, and then at the same time, though, you had the rumors of Roode being pulled up. You had the rumors of Asuka being pulled up. And I'm like, okay, we got our hands in a very bad situation. But I was assured that Bobby Roode was going. So I'm like,
Which he did.
Which he did.
He did.
Which still shocked.
Yeah.
He did. And when we kind of made up those promotions, and I said this to the PR person, I'm like, I'm making the promotions based by the little information you're giving me. So if this changes, I have to wash my hands of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can do. And they weren't telling me specifically what they wanted. They weren't telling me like what direction they wanted me to go. It was just kind of like, this is who's going. You do what you think you can do. And that's why I popped out those 2 audio bumpers. That was all last second. We were up to 4 or 5 in the morning working on that the night in question. And then the promotion, like the posters themselves, that is something I worked on by myself independently to get done. So it wasn't that I didn't want to tell you. It was a matter of, I didn't want to say, this is happening. And because I'm notorious for getting pissed off when things don't go my way. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to be like, this is happening, and then you like, yeah, and you're all psyched up, and everyone's all fucking psyched up, and it's like, never mind. And I would have been like, fuck.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. When did AJ and Dan know?
That night. They knew something NXT was coming. I gave them the same cryptic message
that I got.
That you got.
Okay.
They found out that night as we were getting coffee at Tim Hortons over there. I'm even pointing. And then we drove over and started work. Like the promotional posters, I think I had a basic idea what I wanted to build, and it ended up being completely different in the end. I ended up changing it 3 times. But this was more of an opportunity, not for NXT for us. It was more of an opportunity to be like, we're getting in the Meridian Center. This is an actual legit sports arena. If we show them, we show NXT, we show PR, this is how professional we are. Mm-hmm. The next, I guess, somewhat engineered theme show, the first thing they'll say is Droids Canada. And that's what I wanted. So that next time when they come back to me and say, Todd, NXT, whatever, live, takeover, whatever, comes through, we want you, I'll be like, pay me.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, I want this comped, I want this comped, and I want my boys taken care of. Then I have that bargaining chip to say, I've done all this for you. I did it for free. I think I worked out the math to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500 worth of work for free. Okay?
Yep.
And I didn't really get anything back from that. I got 2 comp seats from it. But in the reality of things, 2 comp seats versus the actual labor involved, yeah. So.
All right. Nonetheless, all is forgiven. I am back up hiatus.
Until he shoots again.
Until I shoot again and don't tell you about it. But I kind of, because there was no time limit put on it when I was going to come back, and I kind of knew that something major was going to happen.
Yep.
And then you and I were going to have, I knew it. And I know what? I don't know if it was last night or earlier today. Because we're recording this on Monday.
It is Monday.
Yeah.
It is airing on Friday.
Yeah. I knew, I had a feeling that something was going to happen because Bobby the Brain Heenan died.
Oh.
And
had to come to a head.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just, I knew that something major was going to happen, that you and I were going to have to say in so many words, we got a podcast about this.
Yeah.
Something has happened and droidscanada.com has to do something.
For sure.
And Bobby the Brain Heenan dying, I just had this feeling like I'm going to have to get a hold of Todd or he's going to get a hold of me or something like that. And
well, yeah, that was kind of the sticking point because we've been talking about it for a while now. that we need to sit down. Our schedules, unfortunately, just have not clicked.
Yeah.
And then tonight, I've been saying to Dan, I said to Dan when I talked to him Friday, I said, we got to really work something out with Matt. We got to get the podcast back on the show. I have a ton of content. I had 400 episodes before we moved off of Podbean the first time, so I can kind of air archive shows. But what the news from 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It does mean nothing. And to be honest with you, we were getting fantastic traction with your show.
Mm-hmm.
You put on a good show. You have a good audience that comes back every week and listens to your show. And it really hurts Droids Canada in that way because it's another genre that we have dipped in before you, and we saw mediocre traction to it. But at the time, I was running too many things at once. I was burning out, and I remember when we first brought up the idea of having a wrestling show again, I think I was talking to AJ about it. I know a guy named Matt Terry. He's all over wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He can rival your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give him his own show. He's always got it. You have 3 podcasts on the go?
I don't even know right now.
Maybe you should slow the fuck down.
Maybe I should slow the fuck down.
Because you got Welland.
Welland, can you hear me
now? Or hear me?
Welland, can you hear me?
You have one for the wine source.
I have wine for the wine source.
Yeah.
The store that my wife and I own.
Yep.
I have Ringside with a Homemade Sign, which is kind of like a small, just a news or opinion thing on wrestling.
Yeah.
Don't Be Smart, which is kind of a worked thing. It takes smart fans saying, well, this doesn't make sense, and I make sense out of it. So there's little things that I do have. So I have a lot of podcasts.
But the point is that you obviously love podcasting.
Oh, I do. I love it.
Podcasting.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think, what can I do? What can I record today? Not even just wrestling. What can I record today?
And now, before we came on the air, we talked about, we can make some changes to It's Time to Fight.
Yeah.
And we talked about now that either myself, probably me, because, everyone else is always around, will come on as a co-host because, you know what, even you said yourself, you hate talking to yourself.
Yeah, because you want to know, you hope that the people listening to you are reacting the way you want to. So if I have someone that I can see, right now I'm looking directly across the desk at you. I can see what you're reacting to. I can see if you're paying attention, if I'm holding your attention. If I'm holding your attention, hopefully I'm holding their attention.
Well...
But to get back to it. Okay, we can do the whole, rest in peace, Bobby Heenan and all that stuff. But, Bobby Heenan, and okay, let me explain.
Weasel.
Let me explain. It's about damn time that he passed away.
Let me
explain.
I didn't see him for years, and I came across a photo last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, son of a bitch.
I don't want to say he should have died. I mean it in the aspect of every single time on social media or wrestling news sites or whatever.
Yeah.
The moment I would, something flashes in front of you and you pick up on something.
Right.
I would see Bobby Heenan, and every single time it would be like, oh, damn it, he passed away. Oh, damn it, he passed away. But it was Bobby Heenan has written a book, or Bobby Heenan will be at this convention, or Bobby Heenan is at this show and stuff. But every single time, and it's kind of like every single time I hear a Tragically Hip song, I think, oh God, Gord Downey's passed away.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, Bobby Heenan's writing another book. God damn it.
No, every time I hear a Tragically Hip song, I'll think, oh God, did Gord Downey pass away? Which, from what I hear, he's nowhere close, which great.
That's great.
Good for him. But every time I hear it, that's just because when Michael Jackson died, they played the motherfucker out of Michael Jackson on all radio stations.
I still haven't even watched the movie yet. This Is It, the documentary they shot before the actual show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then you get to see what the show would have looked like.
Yeah.
But not me, man. When I see Bobby Heenan, I try to scroll past it. He had a rough ending of his life.
He did.
And I can deal with death just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal with people falling apart due to cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal. When my mom's sister passed away, she was skin and bones. I'm I didn't even go see her. Same thing with my dad's dad and my dad's mom. I saw my dad's mom before she passed, but she was still okay.
Mm-hmm.
But she passed a couple weeks later. And then my mom's dad, he had brain cancer too. I'm I don't want to see this.
Mm-hmm.
And I had two friends not to get too morbid, 2 friends 2 weeks ago that passed away within 24 hours of each other. Both cancer.
Mhm.
And everyone's like, why didn't you go see them? And I'm like, I don't want to see that. So that was kind of like the scenario with Bobby Heenan. When I saw that his throat or whatever surgery they did because of his throat cancer.
Throat cancer.
Which my old man actually had at one point in his life. I just couldn't deal with it. He just looked like a person looking for a place to die.
Yeah.
You know, and when he died, to me, it was a sigh of relief. Like, he finally got peace.
Yeah. Although apparently he was still active right up to the point.
Oh yeah,
He was supposed to do a show here in Canada somewhere.
Yeah,
Ontario, I should say.
Yeah.
But apparently that got pulled.
Nixed.
But that's a whole other podcast.
Well, for sure.
But yeah, it was. But there are very few wrestlers or wrestling personalities that hurt me when they die, and Bobby Heenan hurt me when I heard that, and I'm not trying to rest in peace, Bobby Heenan. It was just he was so good, and he was such a big part of me getting into wrestling.
Wow, yeah,
like he did such a great job putting his wrestlers over, but by doing he was so good at it.
He did. You know, he was an iconic manager.
Mm-hmm.
He had an iconic stable.
The Heenan family.
Yeah, the Heenan family. No one will ever forget the weasel suit,
mm-hmm.
which he never wore again because the Ultimate Warrior beat the crap out of him and tried to take it off of him. And then obviously he moves over the commentary, and it's like what this guy touches is gold.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he does is gold. And it was a sad day for me when he went to WCW. Very sad day.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking to myself, well, mind you, when I went over to WCW, I was still a teenager. I didn't really know better. But when I look back at it now, it's like they didn't even know how to use him. They really just let him. And there was times, I'm not sure if you probably may have heard about, where he'd say, "Fuck this place! Like I'm just here for a check at this point."
Oh yeah.
And which is very upsetting because they did the same thing with Mean Gene, and they're like, "We're just fucking. You're just there."
Yeah.
Right. And you take a guy like Bobby Heenan, who is just a talent. He's just he's sharp as a tack when it comes to a microphone, and it's like, just put him on commentary with Shivani. That's a death sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Shivani is a barista at Starbucks right now, and which is funny to me. I don't know why. He's got his own little podcast, but
yeah.
I mean, now you're right. You know, we're going to see the internet's now going to be flooded with just rest in peace, Bobby Heenan.
Rest in peace, Bobby Heenan. Rest in peace, Bobby Heenan. Which, don't get me wrong, rest in peace, Bobby Heenan.
For sure.
But you know what? I think the person who least cares that Bobby Heenan passed away is Bobby Heenan. Like I watched his induction ceremony earlier today.
Yeah.
And he had just finished. He had just got into remission from his throat cancer. And he sounded like, all garbled and stuff. But he gets up there and he's all solemn and or not solemn, but he's all serious and he's just like, I apologize for the way I sound, but... And he reaches around, grabs his ass, and goes, "I got a wedgie."
Fucking guy.
And it's just, yeah. And then he says, "No, I just got over throat cancer," and gets a standing ovation. And then he's just like, "And I also take cash." Like, just that.
He's still got that same type of humor.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently
I do say rest in peace, Bobby Heenan, but it's happy at the same time, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the first person to go through that. I remember when it took... was it Siskel?
Yes.
It took him and it just ripped him apart on the way out. And it's always sad to hear these type of things. And we had a close call a couple weeks ago with Nature Boy Ric Flair, which they really still haven't announced what was wrong with him. I think drinking finally caught up with Slick Rick.
It may have.
I think he probably had a drink. The organ said, "We're done. Yeah. Everyone out. We're leaving."
And he was probably sitting, "Hey, where was my warning? Hello."
He was served a fucking eviction notice from his fucking liver.
Yeah. But yeah. Bobby Heenan's gone, and you told me something.
Oh, Jesus, this is funny.
Jim Cornette is fired?
He's not allowed to travel in Canada.
Well, that I knew.
Unfortunately for him...
That came up with Ring of Honor.
He
couldn't get across with Ring of Honor.
For some stuff he did in the 1980s.
Exactly, yeah.
Apparently, because of that, Bound for Glory And I think this is because of Anthem. I think Anthem is trying to push for more of a Canadian audience, because Anthem is Canadian, and that they want to do Bound to Glory in Canada. Corny can't come. A lot of the tapings they want to do are in Canada. Corny can't come. And also, Corny's got a mouth on him. And we all know that. Everyone who knows Jim Cornette knows that he's got a fucking mouth. I personally think he's a dickhead, because he talks shit about Kenny Omega, which is, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers right now in the world. I get his comment about Mick Foley taking the penis plex from Joey Ryan, but wrestling is not all about headlocks and chops. Sometimes it's about having the humor aspect, like what Colt Cabana does in his shows, right? Some people are not amazing wrestlers. Some people are better showmans. It's just how life is. But Corny, no, we can't have that. That's against time-honored tradition. Corny, it's like the 2010s. No one, because people stopped giving a shit during the Attitude Era, and they never started caring again, right? Yeah. And and his whole thing with Vince Russo, who is also a douchebag, it's just like and then he makes a comment. I don't know if you knew about this comment or not. When he came in to Global Force, or whatever they call it now, Impact, he said, all the wrestlers can leave with their gimmicks. Unfortunately, I wasn't here when the Hardys left, because they would have had their gimmick. I'm like...
Yeah, but okay, with that, I agree. Like, you don't sue the boys, okay? Even before Jim Cornette said that, I had heard that. You don't sue the boys, okay? Like, well, you sue the... Like, if the Hardy Boys, or anybody, if they show up, take their money, and butter the fuck off, okay, then yes, sue the boys. But you don't sue the boys for their gimmick. If they want to take their character somewhere else, like, but now we're in the day and age where WWE is changing everybody's name, and Cody can't be Cody Rhodes,
which is stupid to begin with, man.
Well, no, I agree. Okay, I don't know why.
That's reaching. That's reaching.
Yeah, that is.
Well, and they also had the Young Bucks that were served a cease and desist order by WWE last week for using the phrase "suck it."
For "suck it," and didn't they get cease and desist about "fuck the Revival"?
I don't know about that one.
I think they got...
Well, they had that whole little play with the Revival about the passport being stolen or whatever, which is obviously a joke.
So, but yeah, I don't know. Jim Cornette, he's hit or miss to me. I'll listen to his podcast, and sometimes I will be just so angry, but sometimes I will be so entertained. But yeah, I just thought it was a bit of hypocrisy when he showed back up on Impact, and because he was just like, nothing can save him. That is a dead duck. And this is when Anthem had taken over. Jeff Jarrett's back in the chair.
Who's now gone.
Who's now gone for whatever reason.
Indefinitely, with the GFW brand being dropped.
Reason. Dutch Mantel's in there. Gaborik is helping with the writing again. So the ship is, and he's just like, but you know what? It's too little too late. It's a dead brand. It's just, everything is dead about it. There's nothing good about it. No one can save it. And then he shows up. What? Oh, nobody can save it except me. And that's what it just said to me was, but then I listened to his podcast,
right?
To Jim Cornette's podcast, and he addressed it. He said, I know I said they were dead. I know, but, they said, we want to try this. We think you can do it.
Right.
And he said it was like, 2 or 3 day taping. And, okay, like they were willing to pay my fare and give me a check. And, he came really close to saying, it was a paycheck. But, I went down, they told me what they wanted to do. And I said, okay, like I agree with what they want to do. And he said, I don't know if this is going to save you. I don't know if this is going to spike ratings, but I agree with what you want to do.
Right.
Let's give it a shot.
Well, Cornette's status with the company was up in the air due to Jarrett's indefinite leave of absence.
Well, yeah, that I had heard too.
And that they're pretty much going to finish up some tapings in Nashville, and that'll be her. I mean, really, let's be honest here. Global Force Wrestling is just hemorrhaging. They had, or Anthem. I guess we might as well say Impact or Anthem or whatever. They're hemorrhaging money. They can't keep their stars. They're all just saying, fuck it. You know,
Mhm.
like I mean, the blood was in the water when the Hardys left, and then they lost Eric Young, AJ Styles. Well, AJ Styles is already doing whatever, but I mean, the point is, AJ Styles could have had a renewal, and he said, "Fuck it," went to New Japan.
Yeah, but that was still with Dixie Carter.
The problem is that TNA, Impact, whatever, is the new WCW. Is that they had the money at one point. They had tons of cash. They were paying stupid amounts of money, bringing in people who don't care. Like, I love Hulk Hogan. I will always watch a Hulk Hogan match because that is my childhood. That's how it is. The match isn't good. It's the 5 moves of doom every single time. You know the ending, but still, you're like, it's Hulk Hogan. But that's it. They tried bringing back the NWO angle. Didn't work. They did their own version of it. They did their own ECW invasion angle, which didn't go. And in my opinion, and I even had this conversation with AJ the other day, the only thing that ever made Impact exciting was the X Division. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, they had Kurt Angle they had Sting for a decade. They did nothing worth mentioning with him. Sting, and the thing is, though, is that they're hemorrhaging money. Rumor had it is that they were looking to sell their tape library. Who do you think is going to buy it?
Yeah.
WWE wants to buy the tape library.
Easily, yeah.
Because they want to acknowledge everything AJ Styles did, what
Bobby
Sting
Roode.
did, Bobby Roode. They want to acknowledge all that and have it on the network. Because the network, at first, I was very hesitant about the WWE Network. Because I actually originally thought it was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Then I got access to it for free.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm watching like old wrestling papers. You know what I saw? I saw the producers fucked up. I saw a Benoit match. They scrubbed all his matches, but they forgot one.
No, there's a few on there.
Yeah, because clearly they couldn't scrub the first Money in the Bank match. Because I was like, oh my god, Money in the Bank. Benoit's there? I'm surprised it's just not him scrubbed out.
But you can't search for him.
No.
You can't search for him. But if you type in like WrestleMania 20
But
main
they didn't
event,
scrub. Did they scrub Snuka?
I don't know.
That's a good question, though, isn't it? Like, I mean, I get it. What Benoit did was a horrible thing, and I'm not going to argue anyone about it. But you watch some of these matches, you kind of seen it coming.
Yeah.
Like, some of these hits he took, like, even in that match specifically, he took some nasty headshots. But things were different then because they didn't have the concussion protocols that they have now. So, yeah. But I mean, I like Corny. I just think now in later years of his age, he's just trying to find any way to be relevant again. Like picking a fight with Vince Russo, come on. Everyone knows Corny's going to win that fight.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Well, anyway, so we've talked Bobby Heenan, we've talked Jim Cornette. I don't know how much I'm going to get into this conversation, and I mean in the future. Do you want to talk about Crossfire?
Well, as it stands right now, we're on like, I'm getting a phone call from someone at work. It's not at work. Well. Anyways.
So you want to talk about Crossfire?
Well, I mean, there's not really much to talk about Crossfire right now. We're on the crossroads. I like what I did there. Well, we were approached by Crossfire to possibly be a sponsor for Crossfire Wrestling. Now, understanding, we talked about it before we went on the air. I wouldn't say we have loyalty, but there's ties to Alpha One. But as it stands right now, it sounds like it's purely a sponsor-like role. I'm actually checking right now the website because I don't know if they updated our information on there. But as things progress, hopefully I'll have more information because as it stands right now, I don't know what they want.
Okay.
That's the thing, is that I read you earlier what I asked them.
Yeah.
I said, what do you want from us? And they responded back saying, So, because right now, they have a couple people I know on there already, but they haven't really given us any example of what they want from us. Wow, I really don't like this website. But, I mean, that'll change, I guess. but no, they haven't updated us the website yet. So they said from one of the emails is that they're going to put our logo on the ring mat or something like that. But I mean, I straight up said, if you want us for something, let us know what specifically what you want, whether it's podcast or whatever. So hopefully, I don't want to get too far into the conversation because I don't have that much information. When I get more information, we can talk more about it.
All right, fine. All right. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, we can talk about wrestling there.
Well,
Matt.
I know we're talking about wrestling, but there's lots of stuff we can talk about. Like, again, I've been on hiatus for 6 weeks.
I'm sure you got lots of wrestling shit you can talk about.
Let's
see. Let's talk about how Braun Strowman's going to be the next WWE Universal Champion.
I don't.
And the reason why I say that, Brock Lesnar. That was horrible. Sorry, I don't want to yell. I actually have a neighbor above me again. Has no dates past No Mercy.
Does he not?
Nope.
See, I don't pay attention to that shit. I really should.
Yeah. Well, I just read the. I have a process every day that I wake up and I go to 3 websites every morning. 2 of them happen to be wrestling related. Because it's not because I look for anything. Well, I do look for something specific. I look for where it says WWE has signed Ricochet to NXT. I'm like, done. Life is good. I can stop watching the indies. I can just watch Ricochet because I think he's an amazing athlete. Well, because I know I'll never say Kenny Omega. Never. Not in this lifetime.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, because I remember a long time ago, there was the whole scrutiny that they thought Lesnar was going to drop the strap at the Fatal 4-Way because they're like, he doesn't have any dates left. But they agree that he had dates all the way to No Mercy, but there's nothing listed past No Mercy. Typically, when he loses the belt, kind of goes like a bear hibernates.
Well, he has to come back. I'm not saying he has to come back. But apparently, whatever contract he's on, it goes to WrestleMania of next year.
Yeah, but
so you would think he would come back.
But we don't know the specifics. We don't know if it says 30 appearances a year,
it might.
Which could include obviously live dates. He did some live dates this year. Shocking, I know.
They could easily just hold him off because we're middle of September now.
You can bring him back at the end of Survivor Series or right after Survivor Series. Start to build up there.
Well, they could even hold him off until Royal Rumble.
Well, they could. I mean, I like Brock Lesnar. No bones about it. I think he's a great athlete. He's proven himself in WWE time and time again, which a lot of people don't. He's turning into John Cena. But hey, John Cena worked.
Mm-hmm.
He had over a decade as the face who ran the place. So, I mean, he knows. But with Brock, his matches go either one of 2 ways. Really shitty or really good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that him and Goldberg were going to have a good match?
I didn't think so.
They had a good match.
Yeah, they did.
And that was still everyone...
Even though a lot of people shit on it, but...
They shit on it because you got to see spears and suplexes and F5s and jackhammers. But the point is that the first time around, it wasn't even that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just them standing in the ring, staring at each other, and, But the point is that he also proved that he could put guys like Samoa Joe over. He made Joe look great. But the Fatal 4-Way, he put Braun over something fierce.
Oh, yeah.
And now I think Braun's going to be the man. I honestly believe it because you got Roman Reigns. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
He beats Cena clean, becomes the face. He beats Cena dirty, becomes the heel. It's going to go one or 2 ways. I want him to go heel. He's already hated. Everyone hated Seth Rollins. Absolutely hated Seth Rollins when he turns back on the Shield.
Mm.
He's a face now. And everyone loves him. But he was one of the most hated heels.
Mm-hmm. If Braun wins it, I just think he'll be transitional.
You're probably right. I hope it's not like a Kane transitional or it's not even 24 hours later.
Because WWE has gotten off of putting the belt on a gimmick. And that's what Braun is a gimmick. He's not this mountain man, unintelligent, especially because of his, and I hate social media in wrestling. Like, I hate it when Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman or whoever puts a picture of them with a fan or hanging out backstage, Like there's a picture there with Bray Wyatt, Renee Young, and there's one other person in the picture.
Yeah.
I
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
And they're just sitting there smiling, having a great time.
But that's the internet's fault. The internet has destroyed kayfabe for everybody.
Yeah, I know, but then don't go on social media.
But that's the thing, though, is that's how they gain their fans now.
But if your Twitter handle is Braun Strowman or your Twitter handle is Bray Wyatt,
yeah,
then that account is Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Okay? If what the hell's his Rotunda?
Oh,
Bray Wyatt's real name is something
Rotunda. Yeah,
Rotunda.
yeah.
Okay, fine, do that.
Yeah, but then you'll have those people that
that
doesn't stop that though, because then you'll have those people who actually know more than they should.
That's fine,
and they'll track them down and be like, "This is
because
Bray Wyatt."
If you want to follow Bray Wyatt, but be Bray Wyatt.
But you know what? You can't blame the wrestlers for this one. It's got to be all the internet.
No, it's not,
because
as a fan, you're making a choice. I would love to follow Bray Wyatt. I don't give two shits about.
There's some people that stay in
Rotunda.
character, some people don't.
Okay, I've never been the type that wants the dirt or wants the.
You don't want to know the dirt sheets.
I don't want to know what people are doing every day.
No one wants to know the dirt sheets. It's kind of like
it's not even dirt sheets.
Well, it's kind of like looking at the car accident. You're like, you don't want to look at it because you're going to see something. But what if you see something?
No, I'm going to hear Bray Wyatt's cheating on his wife. Okay, fine.
Good with a very hot woman, by the way.
What's that? Yes.
JoJo's smoking.
Yes. Okay.
Smoking.
I'm not denying that.
Smoking.
But I'm going to find that, okay, Bray Wyatt, but I can see Bray Wyatt cheating on his wife.
Happens.
Okay.
Jake Snake Roberts did enough times for everybody.
But I don't want to see Bray Wyatt hanging out with Renee Young, smiling, having a great time, because I want
How dare you enjoy yourself?
No! I know, in the back of my head, I know he is not Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
In the back of my head, I know that's not Braun Strowman. In the back of my head, I know that's not John Cena, or maybe that is kind of.
That is John Cena.
That is John Cena. But you know what I'm saying.
I know.
But as a wrestling fan,
I'm still stupid and need to know.
I want to follow Bray Wyatt. I want to follow Seth Rollins. I don't want to see Seth Rollins' dick on my computer.
That girl was still hot.
She was hot.
Even though she's a Nazi.
She's a hot Nazi. But you know what?
Everyone makes mistakes, you know.
Actually, no, I could probably see Seth Rollins.
I've seen Charlotte naked. She's better with her clothes on.
Is she?
Yeah.
Don't ruin it for me.
I'm not, honestly, Paige, I'm happy. She's already ruined her life. It's over. We both know it's over. Like, Alberto Del whatever his fucking name is. Alberto Del Tequila.
Alberto El Patron.
Whatever his fucking name is this week. He doesn't have it. Well, supposedly he's coming back to Global Force, which is not even there no more. So, supposedly he's coming back to Impact, maybe? I don't know. They were mentioning it the other day in some of the websites. They're like, oh, he's coming back, but he's not. I'm like, whatever. But when I finally got to see Charlotte naked, I was just like,
How did you see Charlotte naked?
The fappening.
What?
The fappening.
What the hell's the fappening?
The fappening.
They were saying the fappening when I say, what the fuck is the fappening?
Okay,
the
fappening
doesn't help at all.
Is when people hack these people's iCloud accounts and G Drive accounts.
What happened to the days where
That's why you're not supposed to put your D-pics on your phone, man. You do not put your D-pics on your phone. Never. And you always make sure that if you're going to send a D-pic, it's in a scenario that you can get the D-pic off said phone. Never do it over the internet. That's like the worst thing you can do. If you do it over... I know I'm explaining too much to you people. You do it over text messaging. The odds of them keeping it is slim. Because they'll go in and go, that's a nice dick. And they'll move on with their life. Maybe even delete the message history. Not Facebook. You send that through Messenger, it stays. It's there forever. Unless they manually delete it. And 9 times out of 10, people don't know how to even find those pictures. I know how to find those pictures. Because there's a way where if you click on the person's profile when you have it up, it'll show you, like, put this in a private conversation or put this in whatever. You scroll down, it's every picture you've ever sent each other. So if you and your wife send each other 1,000 pictures, it's cached on Facebook's server. See, you might be going home to delete some photos tonight.
No, I'm not. You know why?
Matt, you look pretty scared.
No.
Matt, what'd you send your wife, Matt?
I've sent her. No, don't get me wrong. I've sent her pictures. Okay.
Photos.
No, I haven't sent them to her actually. But
what?
Those? Why would you send those pictures?
Some people do it.
Like, I get it. Okay, and actually, what was it? Yesterday, we took my son to Safari Niagara.
Okay.
And my wife said, "Do you have your phone on you?" And I don't carry my cell phone many places. I'm still I don't really want to carry this damn thing around because I'm still from the era where there's one phone in the house and it's on the wall in the kitchen. And
oh my
if you call me,
is it a rotary phone?
Yes,
you're lying.
It was a rotary phone.
You have to send me a picture. You still have it?
No.
Oh, I think you still have it.
No,
you're lying.
I'm from the era where in my
yes, my grandmother had one. Yeah.
And if you called and I wasn't home, then you called back later, or you left a message on the machine. You didn't find me because I had this thing attached to my hip.
That's why.
Anyway, so my wife says, "Do you have your phone on you?" And I said, "Yeah, I have it on me." And I said, "I don't really need it. Like, why do I need it? I'm taking my kid to Safari Niagara. Why do I need my cell phone?" And she says, "Well, so we can take pictures." And I looked at her and I said, "Where the fuck's your camera?" Because when we got married, she said digital cameras were still relatively new when we got married.
That's true.
And she says, or she said at the time, she's like, "You know what? Maybe we should invest in one of those digital cameras before they became as popular as they are now."
Sure.
And so I bought her one for her birthday. And yesterday when she's just like, "Well, so we can take pictures," I look, "Well, where the hell's their camera?" "Oh, it's at home." Well, so I know everybody, and I watched yesterday. As we're at Safari Niagara, okay, everybody has their phones out. They're taking
because
pictures.
It's convenience, Matt.
Oh, I know it's convenience.
The generations, and you know what?
I know.
We're all just as guilty of it at one point or another.
I know.
Is that they have gotten lazy, and which goes back to my conversation about the fucking internet. Is that people do not respect, or that's maybe not respect, or even relish. No, I can't think of the word right now. It's really escaping me, and it's fucking bothering the shit out of me. Of the small things in life, like just having a camera on them. And they go to, like, here's an example, and this is why I hate cell phones. And then keep in mind, I've been in this industry now for 15 years, so close to half my life I have been in the cell phone or telecommunications industry, and I've watched the evolution of cell phones, barf, and I've seen it all. And this is why it pisses me off, is that there is no kayfabe in this world no more. These people will catch Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's at least three videos out there of Ric Flair being wheeled into the ambulance. At least three. And that's me being nice.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked.
See, and stuff like this is news to me because I don't go looking for this stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean,
like, I know, maybe as a podcaster, but I never want to be the podcast where people are just like, "Oh, well, maybe Matt will give us the dirt." No, I'm not.
Well,
there is shit I could tell you about wrestlers, like local wrestlers.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I'm not. That's their own fucking business.
But that's the point is that even wrestlers can fall victim to this shame. Like Paige did, Victoria did. She looks nice. You know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to look it up.
What are we looking up now?
I'm going to go to the fappening folder. No, you won't see anything incriminating there.
I won't see anything incriminating there?
No, not me anyways. Charlotte,
right,
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn.
Lisa Marie Veron, which is also Victoria.
Victoria.
Like, I mean, it's just...
You know what? Get Charlotte up here.
I figured as much. It's just... See what I mean? See what I mean, though? You're like,
Now, how do you know this stuff's real?
Yeah?
Okay, yeah. Well, but still, it's...
No one puts that much work, and it was confirmed that this leak actually happened. That is not a good photo. See? Better with the clothes on.
But what?
Better with the clothes on.
Why would you do this?
Because they're human, Matt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're human. People do this thing. They I don't know whoever she was with. It could have been pictures she sent to Del Rio when they were still friends with benefits back in the day. Who knows? Paige did it. Mind you, it was like 2 years later shit leaked. But she obviously was an idiot because she left it on the iCloud. Don't even put it on the iCloud. As soon as you're done with it, like, move it onto your computer. Or better yet, delete it. Like, well, I mean, I did this one mistake. Delete. You are absolved of your sins. So that's why I always find it funny when these celebrities get all fucking jacked up and mad. They're like, they have these photos of me. I'm like, why'd you take them? These people go out of their way to. I guarantee you, the person that leaked those photos had a nice fucking payday. I mean, look at what happened at, like, the whole paparazzi thing. They were selling photos of Princess Diana before she died, obviously, of her topless because she was the princess. But they were making stupid amounts of money. This paparazzi.
Okay, but that's okay.
But people still
Diana topless. That's her stupidity.
Well, that's her own stupidity.
You want to be in a place where
in her own backyard behind bushes that these guys climbed over to get to?
Yes,
sure, totally her stupidity.
Yeah.
Totally. But
like, don't get me wrong, they shouldn't be in her backyard.
But I mean, really, when you think about it, though, to have a handful, which could be worse, a handful of leaks over how many years that the World Wrestling Federation has been around? Come on. At least you didn't see Mae Young naked. Come on. Come on.
Thank God.
But that's the thing, though, is that these wrestlers of the newer generation of people, and that's how they think, is that, you know, I gotta send out a dick pic to make sure someone likes me. You don't get it. You were born in, what, the 70s?
Yes.
Exactly. I'm in the 80s, and I somewhat get it. The 90s got it down pat. They know what's going on. Because they grew up in technology.
I guess I am still.
You didn't grow up with an iPad in your hand, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I didn't.
No, you did. You grew up with a ball in the cup. Couldn't take a picture with a ball in the cup. I didn't even
have the ball and cup.
You couldn't even afford the ball in the cup?
No.
Oh my God.
What the fuck did I have?
I don't know what you had.
Actually, I just don't think I liked the ball and cup. I think I couldn't do it, and I just
just like the hoops, and you throw the dart through the hoops, or
lawn darts.
Lawn darts. Oh, lawn darts. You got one of those in the leg. That's a sport. Then.
Yeah, I love lawn darts.
Wow.
What else? But yeah, I had my 8-inch wrestling figures.
Oh, the rubber ones.
Yeah,
I had those.
When you and I went to Toy-Con, I could not fucking believe how expensive those fucking
things were. Well, they're an artifact now. I'm sure you can find some of them cheap, but I mean, they were the ones that were mass-produced. I think that was like Macho Man was mass-produced. So was, I want to say George the Animal Steel?
Not really. See, I know
Tito Santana was.
Tito Santana was mass-produced.
Who was still wrestling, and he shouldn't be.
But, well, I think I talked on one of my podcasts before, the hiatus.
Left turn.
Yeah.
Sharp left.
But yeah, I think I talked on one of my podcasts about that, where I had a collection, and I know who was hard to find. And at the Toy-Con, I should have grabbed Superfly. I should have grabbed Superfly. Because Superfly was the one that my mom knew that's the one I wanted. And I had an easier time finding Hogan than I did finding Superfly.
Superfly.
So, yeah. Dick pics. Why the fuck are people sending
Let it go, man. Let it go. Let it go.
And why the hell did I make you show Charlotte?
I don't know. I don't even know why I still have it. That makes me an enabler, I know.
Uh-huh. Anyway, how far are we in?
Oh, about 53 minutes.
Oh, 53?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well. I mean, it's different. There's actually someone here to talk to.
Yeah, I know. And it just flies by.
It just flies by, because you're not like, what do
by.
I fucking talk about now?
All right, well, hopefully, we come back next week if I don't get put on hiatus.
Oh.
Left turn.
Sharp left.
Yeah, let's explain that quickly.
Oh, because when I recently just broke up with my ex-girlfriend, and anytime I would go on a slight rant of how pissed off I was, everyone would yell sharp left.
Anytime your girlfriend would even remotely come up. Ex-girlfriend, sorry. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Your ex at the time. Because the day that was created was the day, like...
we were driving back for CK Expo.
Yeah, we were going to, and she was coming here to, like, pick up stuff or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just remember that you could see it on your face every time.
Well, I mean, I wasn't there. That's the thing, though. It's not.
But every time it would, like, you would just mention her, or she would come up, or something would happen. You could see it on your face. Just take that break and just left turn.
There's nothing. The thing is, though, is I was like 3-4 hours away, so I couldn't stop anything. You know what I mean? If something happened, I wouldn't be able to stop it. But things ended out in the end, and she moved the fuck out, and life is good.
All right. Before we go,
Don't take your pants off.
I'm not going to take
You're
my
not
pants
at
off.
home.
This Saturday, where are we?
This Saturday, we are at Forest City Comic Con.
Now, are we just attending, or do we?
We're media.
We're media.
We're media.
Okay, so we're media. That's
We're
awesome.
media. We're gonna be like walking around taking photos and shit. You know how to use a camera?
Yeah, I can. I know how to use my phone.
No, I'm gonna teach you how to use a DSLR.
Okay. Okay,
And
so this
my
Saturday
buddy
we're in London.
Negan's gonna. My buddy Jeff, he's gonna be with us, dressed up as Negan from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a little bit of a video with him. And do you ever watch Lord of the Rings?
No.
Ooh.
Never watched it.
Ever watch Archer?
Nope.
Ooh, 2 strikes.
I'm the wrestling guy. That's it.
There's literally no one there from wrestling. The one
There's
I watched.
no one there from wrestling. The place you're bringing me.
Hey, I try to invite you to
No
Hamilton.
wrestling.
I'm fucking
You try-
guy, fucking thing to do. I'm like, listen, I'm giving you Shawn Michaels. I'm giving you fucking, what's his name? Fucking Pat Patterson. Fucking, I think the Killer Bees. And you're like, no. I got an Alpha One show. I
got an Alpha One show.
I can't go to this.
My
one
priorities.
guy.
I have an Alpha One show. Okay, so this Saturday we're in London at. I'm sorry, what is it
Forest City Comic Con.
All right. Sunday I am in Hamilton with Alpha One Wrestling again.
Which Sunday? The 24th or the 1st?
24th.
What about the 1st?
I'm there too.
He's
I'm
doing
in
2
Hamilton
back-to-back shows?
Yep, I'm doing Hamilton on the 24th, Oshawa on the 1st. But yeah, Knights of Columbus this Sunday, 222 Queenston Road in Hamilton. Yeah, so come on.
You got to bring that
Alpha
Ben
One.
Affleck guy on the show.
I should.
You should.
Yeah, I should.
I like him.
Yeah.
I think he's funny. And
He
can
is.
he wear like the 6 Ben Affleck shirts?
Yeah.
When he comes on? I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's your show. I'm hijacking it.
All right, awesome.
I'm fading away in the background.
All right, so yeah, so
Background.
if you see us on Saturday, come see us. You want to come see me on Sunday? Come say hi.
Don't sound so enthused.
I love talking. I love talking to people.
You're just like, yeah, you see me and shit.
Okay,
I
well,
mean,
okay.
we can talk.
Are we? How close are we to an hour?
3 minutes away.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this really quick. When I was in wrestling for about 2 years, and I worked midnights at a Sunoco. I was managing, and I got moved over to another Sunoco, and there was a McDonald's right across the street. So my second night there, I stopped at the Sunoco, dropped off my stuff, and I said, I'm going across the street to McDonald's. I walked in, and at that time, my name was Terry Moonshine Mathis. Okay, I was managing
Like
a biz.
Judge Joe Mathis is like
Kinda,
long
yeah.
lost brother. No.
So I walk into McDonald's, I walk up to the counter, and this girl behind the counter looks at me, and she goes, and literally, she's like, you're Terry Mathis.
Jesus.
And I looked at her, I'm like, excuse me? I heard her, but like, no, I couldn't have heard that right. And I said, excuse me? And she goes, you're Terry Mathis. And I said, yes, I am. She's like, yeah, I go to all the UWA shows. And I'm like, that's cool. Are you coming to our next one? She's like, yeah, I already got my tickets. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And I ended up getting like the employee discount on my meal. So I love it when people like, hey, Terry. Like, I know I kind of harp on it a little bit, but I love the Terry. Like, okay, it gets me going a little bit. So yeah, so if you
when
want
we
to
start chanting Jerry or Barry.
yeah, that one.
We should also make sure that we announce that we're going to be at Hamilton Comic Con. Well, I'm going to be. Someone else can't be bothered to go to meet Shawn Michaels. They don't know who they are. Yeah, fucking blame yourself. Just like, Niagara Falls met Sting. Anyways, going to rub that in your face. Moving on. The look of disdain.
Fuck yourself.
Hey, if you come to London Comic Con, which is in October,
Okay.
Mick Foley will be there, and so will be Ric Flair.
What's the
I don't
date?
know. I don't know the media passes situations yet. They're supposed to email me back. But we also have another convention. But we do have a convention, Matt. We do have a convention. We have a convention on a Sunday, Sunday the 12th. You're going to that. I booked you in the summer, the 12th. You better make sure you're going because you're going to be the head announcer for the cosplay games.
Is that the one that came
at
from
GTA Comic Con?
Okay.
That was the one we went to the Burlington Toy Store, Toy Con. The guy, he's the guy that's running the GTA one in November,
Okay.
and wants us to host the cosplay Olympics. So you're going to be announcer Matt.
Okay.
So you're going to wear the duds.
I'll wear the duds.
Wear the duds.
Yeah.
They're going to have
Okay.
2 teams. They're going to have team. I don't know what the team. They haven't figured out the teams yet, and they're going to be doing a bunch of different things. So we're just going to be there. Me and Dan are going to be doing live video and stuff, and you're just going to be riding the microphone.
All right.
I mean, you are the loudest guy we know.
Yeah.
And also on the 11th, we'll be at Frightmare in the Falls. I believe it's the 11th. I really don't know. We just got accredited today, and I've already forgot what day it is. There it is. Yes, November the 11th.
Remembrance Day.
Remembrance Day. We'll be remembering the 11th of November, as we will be at the Frightmare in the Falls. We have been accredited for that, so we're excited for that. So 12 down. No. Yeah. We have 11 conventions down, 4 to go. And that's
Awesome.
it this year. All right, I'm done taking up your
As
show.
long as I'm not on hiatus.
We're over 1 hour. So how do you end your show?
I just say bye.
I kind of just like nap at the end by the end of it.
Yeah, I know. I just usually just say bye.
You like go
Actually, I usually
bye-bye?
ring a bell or something.
Do you want That's it.
His eardrums were scientifically altered for world peace. His ears are more finely tuned than yours or mine. He can listen to a podcast from a mile away. He is the most dedicated podcast fan in the world. I do not always listen to podcasts, but when I do, I prefer the Tangent Bomb Network. Keep listening, my friends.